You think you better than me?
Hey, Tubbo, can't you do anything?
You get your head on straight. Do you hear me?
You can't stay here much longer.
Look out, he might start crying.
I just want you to know how special you are.
Get out of my house!
Bad situations can happen to any of us, and it can mean nowhere else to go but the streets, and that's trouble. Look for this yellow and black Safe Place sign on a building or bus and go there. Safe Place. For youth, someplace to go, someone to help.
Good morning, everybody. What's up out there in TV land? Welcome to another episode of West News on this Friday, November 14th of 2014. Hey, it's getting colder outside, so I decided to come to the beach to warm up. How about that? Let's take a look at what's been going on at West Middle School. Our parent advisory team is sponsoring a year-long fundraiser through the Box Tops for Education initiative. Each success class is encouraged to collect as many box tops as you can. The class in each grade with the most box tops at the end of each month will get a pizza party during lunch. We all observed Veterans Day on Tuesday in honor of all of the men and women who are serving or have served in our nation's armed forces. We cannot say thank you enough for your service. And Career Day was yesterday, and West hosted a number of guests, including members of the Indiana State Police, a chef, and a barber. In sports, 7th and 8th grade boys basketball traveled to Greenwood Tuesday night to face the Woodmen, and the 8th grade entered into a tournament at Southport last night. More on those events next week. So that's what's been happening. Now please welcome Ms. Dehoff, who's going to talk to you a little bit about some pretty cool things that are happening in your library.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the library, and I'm pretty excited because I just opened up a new box from Permabound, one of my favorite places to get books, and I wanted to show you a few of the things that was inside. Okay, to begin with, I do have the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. This has been, I know that this is a beloved series for many of you, so make sure you come in and either place a hold or try to be the first one to grab this book. We also now have in our collection 4, which is the 4th of the Divergent collection. And this too, I mean, they're sitting here on the shelves right now. So please, again, come in, see if you can get on the list and get some of these books. We also have some new Feinstein. Feinstein is a sporty kind of writer. He's also featured in Sports Illustrated. So he's a sport writer for both adults and young people. We also have Survivors. For those of you who were into all of the Warrior series and all the Animal series that Aaron Hunter writes, this is another one. This is called The Endless Lake, and this is about dogs. Okay, so we have a few other things that we have that I ordered a couple months ago, and I'm really excited about the collection that we have. So please come in and always talk to me about books, place a book on hold, or just put a book in for just a request. The second thing I would like to talk to you guys about is Young Hoosier. Now, all these books obviously are available for 6th, 7th, and 8th, but Young Hoosier is just something for the 7th and 8th graders. And really 6th graders, the reason why we do this is due to our limited supply of books. We just don't have enough of these books because we only have about 2 or 3 copies of all 20 of the Young Hoosier books. Now, the incentive for reading these books is that those of you who read 6 of these 20 books, and any book that you want to out of this collection, if you read 6 of them and get at least 85% on your AR test, then you will be able to accompany myself and some other teachers and hopefully a large group of students to Indiana University in Bloomington. We're going to tour their library. We're also going to tour their campus, which is always referred to as being one of the most beautiful campuses. And it would be a wonderful opportunity for you to explore that place because some of you might consider going there in about 4 years. So I'll be taking those kids who read 6 books at 85% from Young Hoosier there in May. Now, those of you who are wondering if you have enough time to read these books, you absolutely do, because we have until, I'm going to at least allow you to read through the end of April. So that gives you 5 months. 5 months to read 6 books and leave town for a day. So consider it. Something you should know, if you want to place one of those books on hold, it is a different procedure. Now, instead of going to the computer for just Young Hoosier, you need to see Mrs. Payne or you need to see me, and we're going to put you on this clipboard. Just be aware that we will get these books to you if you put your name on this list. The final thing I want to talk to you about has to do with the other thing that I love to do besides talk about books and teach, and that is to take 8th graders to Washington, D.C. every year. You know that I've spoken to you in your social studies classes, but Mrs. Walker, who's the librarian over at Bell East, she and I decided to extend the deadline until the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So those of you who feel like who really wanted to go and then you lost your opportunity or you lost your paperwork or your parents were kind of going back and forth, you still have a week and a half to work on that. So come see me if you still need extras, and I will be happy to answer any questions or get you the paperwork so you can go with us on that trip. Okay, so thanks for visiting the library. See ya.
Thank you, Ms. Dehoff. Hey guys, it's time for a commercial break.
Come to the Neon Party and support Martinsville Middle School Athletics on Saturday, November 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the gym at West Middle. Get your dance on, do the limbo, march around the musical chairs, buy some glow accessories, hit up the concession stand, and enter the best and brightest dressed contests. There will be basketball, cornhole tournaments, and even more dancing. It's only $4 to get in, and a portion of the proceeds will go to benefit Martinsville Middle School Athletics. Neon Nights, Saturday, November 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. at West Middle. All Bell East and West Middle students welcome.
Be still my heart, 'cause it's freaking out.
Come join the Junior Academic Super Bowl and travel back in time to witness the grandeur that was Rome. Academic Super Bowl is a competition between schools around the state. Teams of up to 5 students compete in different rounds: English, math, social studies, science, and all subjects. Mrs. DeMott, Mr. Lindsay, Mrs. Midla, and Mrs. Sturgeon invite you to a meeting on November 18th in room 13 during Success, right after the pledge. Students can choose 1 or 2 areas to study, and the meets are during the first week of April and May 2nd. The English team will study mythology, writings by famous Romans including Ovid, Virgil, and Cicero, and also learn about Latin words. Math will study exponents, geometry, special numbers, and Roman numerals. Social studies will study the geography, government, expansion, and decline of the Roman Empire, as well as culture and daily life. Science will study astronomy, agriculture, and volcanoes. If you can't make it, you can sign up in the cafeteria following this call-out meeting. Regular meetings will start the week after Thanksgiving. Come join us and behold the grandeur that was Rome.
Welcome back, folks, and now here's what's coming up in West Middle's future. Teachers, the grade bucket opened up yesterday and will remain open until midnight on the 18th, so be sure you get your grades in. Character Counts nominations are due to Mrs. Selch by the end of the day today. The featured pillar for November is citizenship. The 8th grade boys basketball tournament at Southport concludes tomorrow morning. Good luck with that. Martinsville Middle School Athletics is hosting Neon Nights, a dance tomorrow night right here at West Middle. It is open to all Bell East and West Middle students. Academic Super Bowl is holding a call-out meeting next Tuesday during Success. Stop by room 13 and see Mrs. DeMott if you're interested in joining. NJHS is also having a meeting that morning starting at 7:15 in my classroom. 7th grade boys basketball will travel to St. Charles on Wednesday night. Tip-off is set for 5:30 p.m. And the 8th grade team will host St. Charles that same night at Bell East, starting at 5:30. Student Council's next meeting is Thursday morning at 7:15 in Mrs. Allison's room. The West Middle Family Pantry will be open for business on Thursday from 2:45 to 3:45 in the cafeteria. 7th and 8th grade boys basketball host Clark Pleasant at 5:30 on Thursday night. The 7th graders play at Bell East, and the 8th graders are right here at West. Students will get progress reports at the end of the day on Thursday, and Ms. Dehoff wanted to let the 8th graders know the deadline to sign up for the Washington, D.C. trip has been extended to Tuesday, November 25th. That's the last day before we get out for Thanksgiving. Remember, this is not a deadline for payment. If you're interested in going on the trip at the end of the year, stop by and see Ms. Dehoff in the library and sign up. And now if you're looking for something to do this weekend besides going to the Neon Nights dance tomorrow night, a couple of big movies are coming out. Hitting the big screen tonight is Foxcatcher, starring Steve Carell and Channing Tatum. Wrestler Mark Schultz forms a relationship with his new sponsor, millionaire John DuPont, as they train for the 1988 Games in Seoul, a union that leads to unlikely circumstances as both men feel inferior to Mark's revered brother Dave. And also in theaters tonight is Dumb and Dumber 2, starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. 20 years since their first adventure, Harry finds out that he has a daughter who was adopted. Lloyd and Harry try to find Harry's adopted daughter. Here's something to think about. How can you tell when you have run out of invisible ink? And now, here's a monkey pestering a cat. And that's all from me. Don't forget you can follow West Middle on Twitter at WestArtyPride. And you can see this episode as well as previous episodes and other videos at youtube.com/WestMiddleNews. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe to our channel. And as always, if you have any ideas, suggestions, or announcements for West News, feel free to stop by and see Mrs. Lips, Mr. Deckard, or myself, and let one of us know. Hey! I'm Mr. Smith. Thanks for joining me at the beach. Have a great Friday and an even greater weekend.